It's a bad scene, but
Jimmy had the feeling, hearing the recording of Axis, that Chad was pushing him to hurry up to finish it.
Axis Bold as Love was released in December of '67, while the band was gigging on another package tour, this time with a fledgling psychedelic act called Pink Floyd. For the experience, 1967 had blown through in a flurry, and with recording sessions for their next album already underway, time was of the essence.
We were at some place one night, some small gathering of people. Either here, somebody brought the new Bob Dylan album, the John Wesley Harding album. When All Along the Watchtower came on, this one, Jimmy said, oh, man, it's cool. I need to record this tune.
When Jimmy decided to lay this down in the studio, Dave Mason came to Upper Berkeley Street, and so did Brian Jones, and we all went down to Olympic Studios in the same taxi.
We were doing, in fact, the track for All Along the Watchtower. Jimmy playing acoustic guitar, and Dave Mason from Traffic playing the other acoustic guitar, and Mitch Mitchell on drums and no bass. And we were about halfway through, and we were almost there, and all of a sudden, I realized that there's another presence in the room, and it's Brian. He kind of sort of snuck in, and he's really completely gone. And he goes over to the piano, and I said, I'd throw a mic on the piano, see if this works. And you know, clang, 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 and it's all out of time, and it's all wrong and everything. And Jimmy was so polite, you know, because he could never say no, and it was his friend.
Jimmy invited me up to the studio, and hard to park around there, so I suppose I parked about quarter mile, half mile down the road, you know, and I could hear this guitar. Jimmy must be playing out the front somewhere. You know, got in there and got into the...
September 17th, 1970, the day before he died. The life story of Jimi Hendrix might seem quicker than the wink of an eye, but the story of his legacy lives forever, and so does his music.
He was the #1 rock and roll guitarist.
He was just a wild man. He just shows you that he could do anything on that guitar.
Jimmy's music was right out of his soul and his body and his blood and his guts and his heart and his mind, too.
He was ready to explode into exploration out of any note or out of any nuance at any time.
Jimmy was one of the most outstanding proponents of creative music that have yet to come on the planet.
I thought he was a prophet. You know, he was Hendrix. You know, he says, I'm music. And he became music.
He was a genius. It is not something to be unsaid. He was extremely clever.
Not only was he proficient technically, musically, but spiritually and from the soul. I mean, the music, the mission.
We call our music electric church music.
Electric church?
Yeah, because it's like a religion to us.
Do you know why so many people go to see His Most Reverend Billy Graham? He electrifies the audiences. James Marshall Hendrix did the same thing too. It just happened to be of another genre, but it was still of spirit, religion, mind, body, and soul.
What we're saying is not protesting, but giving the answers of some kind of solution.
We still listen to Beethoven. We still listen to Strauss and all them guys. And they're going to continue to listen to Jimmy.
Like the great composers of old, Jimmy's music is timeless. But more than that, his music has a message. And perhaps this is the real source of Jimmy's greatness, his message of love. But who was the man behind the music? Who was this naturally shy, elementally wild, showman, songwriter, messenger, creative genius, guitar god? We'll have to start from the beginning. They met in Seattle, Washington. She was 15. He was 22. Lucille Jeter and Al Hendrix, mother and father to...
States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Al was called for duty and would soon find himself far from home. With little time for courtship, the two were married in March of '42. But by now, there was another reason to tie the knot. Lucille Hendrix was pregnant. She was 16 years old.
Nobody expected my little younger sister to jump up and get married and get pregnant. That was really a terrible thing at that time. And we were very, very disappointed.
This is Harveyview Hospital. It used to be King County Hospital. This is where Jimi Hendrix was born in 1940.
At 10:15 on the morning of November 27th,